Hello there, and welcome to Ico. Is it gonna start? Any minute now? That's a bit of a dramatic pause, and here it is. And here we are at the opening screen of Ico. That's such a great intro, that. Just quite short and sweet and... Oh. And we're straight into this. I think I'm just gonna let it play out. And there we go, a little preview, essentially, I guess the trailer for Ico, showing some parts of the game. I think both of those initial scenes will replay as I talk through this menu screen, and yeah, such a nice opening, that, just in the forest, the guys on horseback, kind of medieval, and they've got the boy with the horns, just a lot of questions, and then they arrive at this epic castle, which is just such a strange and bizarre structure. And so yeah, this is of course the PS2 game from 2001, Ico, and this is the HD remaster version, which I'm playing on the PS5 via the streaming PS Plus option. And yeah, the HD remaster came out for the PS3 in 2011, so exactly 10 years later, along with Shadow of the Colossus, an HD remaster of that. And basically it is exactly the same game. Less of a remaster, I would say, more just, you know, just upgraded to HD for the modern systems. And this will be, I don't know how many times I played this game, maybe 10, or at least getting there. The first time I ever played this was, of course, back on the PS2, and indeed from a demo disc. Remember those? A demo disc with a few different games on, actually, but this one, it was just opening few segments. I think probably the very first few bits up until you meet Yorda, of course. We have Aiko and Yorda. I guess spoilers, but hopefully not spoiling too much for anyone that hasn't seen this game. Basically the other character we see in this preview bit. But I remember playing that demo over and over and over again. It was right when I first got a PS2, and I got a PS2 really late in its life cycle, actually, just because I kind of stopped gaming for a few years. And yeah, it wowed me, I think, even more, just because I'd gone from having an N64 straight into PS2 years later, and playing games like this was like, oh my god, this is incredible. It looks wonderful. And then to play the game proper, I didn't even buy it initially. I think I just got a rental. I can't remember why I rented it and didn't buy it, because I know I definitely would have wanted to. Maybe it was... No, I don't think it was expensive. Maybe that was all that was available. I think from... Was it Blockbuster? Something like that. And yes, I rented it. I think I had it for a week or weekend, 5 days, maybe something like that, because I remember I played through it twice. I played through it over a couple of days, and I thought, I'll play it again. Yeah, great stuff. And then, of course, I bought it and played through it quite a few times again, and it felt very unique at the time, very different, the game. I mean, it was kind of, I suppose, like a lot of other games, just a platformer, you solve some puzzles, but it just felt very different. It had, I suppose, maybe within its simplicity of not throwing lots of different enemies at you, and even the way the combat works, as we will see, very much a different vibe. And just even this opening, that kind of music coming in, that kind of hum, and then the kind of oversaturation, just this mysterious castle. It's just, got a little frisson, I think is the word, something a little bit different to it, and that's what's captured my imagination and my joy of the game. And indeed, I think over the years it's become quite a beloved game, and it's actually pretty surprising because, of course, there has been a full remake of Shadow of the Colossus, the sort of sequel or successor, another wonderful game. And I think actually now the original HD version of Shadow of the Colossus that was bundled with this isn't available, not even on PS Plus anymore, which is kind of a shame. I think it would be good for people to be able to play the original if they want to. But a remaster of this, I think that could be pretty amazing, if it was in the spirit of that Shadow of the Colossus remake, because I think they did a really good job on that. But it's still wonderful to be able to play this as is now, and it's good that there is this HD version, because it still impresses, to be honest. It's still an impressive game. It's been a few good years since I played this. I have played this HD version, I think, on PS4. I'm not even sure when. At least 5 years ago, probably more. And in fact, I thought I hadn't, but it was only because I loaded this up and it had stored on my profile the saved games I'd made. So yeah, so I must have played through it. And yeah, I'm kind of talking about my experience of the game without actually saying much about the dev. So this is Sony Computer Entertainment Japan that made this. The creative force behind it was designed and directed by Fumito Ueda, and according to Wikipedia, he said that he wanted to create a minimalist game based on a boy meets girl concept, with our boy Aiko and girl there, Yorda, there, which I don't think is ever actually said in the game, their names, but back in the day you had the instruction manual where it would tell you that kind of stuff, which I kind of miss those times where you had to go to the instruction manual to get some backstory and proper info. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like they should bring back the instruction manuals. There's something cool about that, a bit of artwork. It's like a little art book as well sometimes when they really put a lot of effort into. And they really did on this. It had some great cover art as well, like really beautiful cover art. Especially, I think just in the EU Japan version, really wonderful cover art piece. I can't remember who did it, but again, that just immediately told you this game's a little bit different. And even this music here itself. So this music playing is Castle in the Mist by Mikiro Oshima. And one of not many songs in the game. The soundtrack is, like much of the game, kind of minimalist, kind of sparse, but what there is there, like this, just really stands out. I mean, this piece I just love as well, much like the game itself, and really fits with the vibe. And that's about all I have to say, other than I'm excited to be presenting this to you and playing through this. And what I'm going to do though before I get started is have a little look at the options, but they are not on the main menu. What I have to do is load into, and look at this, like the proper back in the day PlayStation 2 load-in screen. So I'm just going to load up an area. I think I'm going to edit this out to avoid spoiling too much for anyone who's not experienced this game before coming on this journey with me. But I want to just have a look at the options as I do in this intro. So yeah, let's take a look at the options, but without spoiling what is to come. So full pixel mode is kind of a funny one, because if it's off, it basically just sort of zooms back a little bit. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. A bit like the little preview sequence there with the Castle in the Mist track is kind of not quite filling the screen, but when you put it on, the screen fills. Not quite sure what that's all about. So hold type is when holding the hand of our companion Yorda, and I've set that to B, which basically is, it's just a toggle rather than having to hold it. Stereoscopic 3D just is, so that's interesting. I can't actually seem to do anything with that, so I don't really know what that's all about. Is it dependent on the type of TV you have? Because I'm pressing, but nothing changes. I don't know. Brightness is all good. I think I'm just leaving that as is. And so the button configuration, I've changed it about a little bit. So I've actually forgotten what is the default. Yeah, okay, that's it. So default is with jump as the triangle, which I think quite a few like Sony PlayStation games would tend to do that. But I'm going to stick with X. I mean, it kind of makes sense, like triangle up, X release down, but I think it just comes more automatic to me to press X for jump and then release for the circle with cancel. And then attack square is good. And action triangle, yeah, that works well. And so to hold hand and call our friend Yorda, because we're going to be doing that a lot. I think right trigger, and then for the zoom, which is just zooming in the camera, left trigger. Kind of works with that, because a lot of the time, again, that feels a bit more natural, like when you go into a kind of an aim mode. And that's pretty much it. So that's all set. And am I happy with that? Yeah, good. I was thinking of trying maybe like because he always holds the hand with left hand and has his stick in the right hand. I was thinking of maybe doing attack with right trigger and then hold hand with left trigger, but I kind of tried that a bit and it wasn't quite working for me, so this seems to be good. And that's it. That is it. So I don't know why triangle is back. That's a bit of a random one as well, but there we go. So return to the title screen. This is okay, and then we are ready to go, ready to get into Fumito Ueda's masterpiece, you could say, the original Ico. So I hope you'll come join me on this journey and enjoy the experience along with me. See you soon.